Alright, welcome back. So you can see that in the interim since the last segment, I went back and I caught a Espeon, who is now part of our team as Elrond, and didn't really notice we have Elrond and El Toro. I'm not going to try to make that a theme or anything, but that's just kind of funny how that worked out. Basically, that's what I did on screen, because it was mostly just, I did abuse save states because I really don't have the cash flow at this stage of the game to just keep buying endless Pokeballs. So just, chuck Pokeballs, reload save state. Kind of took a while, but we got there. And I leveled him up to level 10. I figured that would probably be mostly good enough to get us along where we need to be. If not, we can use cool. Yeah, we can use El Toro to help us along here. I didn't want to go so, too crazy overload. Oh, alright. And I kind of just decided on the Espeon because it seemed like it would form a nice counterbalance to Toro here at the beginning. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, just because kind of focus on a special attack, and Toro is more of a physical attacker. Of course, the whole thing with the Shadow Ball here, it's like it'd be great in another generation, but well, what can you do? Well, let's use Earthquake. It's a little bit more powerful here. Alright, that was interesting. But yeah, it's not, of course, one of the things we do every day. Not too much interesting else here. The only other thing I have would be just thinking about like the kind of like the Pokemon conversation I was having a little bit last segment, where it's kind of funny. Like, I remember when it was one of the last segments of Cody's Black 2 series. I know he was kind of just talking about let's see, what is Man Wayne. Okay, but yeah, he was talking kind of like about history, playing the different Pokemon games, like how he got into things, and it was funny when he was talking about that, because like I was sitting there thinking like, wow, so much. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I don't want to mess around too much with this here. Inner Water Pulse. It's wild. But yeah, it was funny because so much of his history was like, wow, this is feels so much like my history, because I didn't get on the. Yeah, I don't think so, buddy. Yeah, I didn't really get on the Pokemon train right at the very beginning. Like, either, like, I remember a friend of mine had brought, the Pokemon, I think he had Pokemon Blue to school, one day, and it was like, oh, this is pretty interesting, because, I've never really even played any kind of, RPG game before. Oh, of course, why not? So then I was like, well, this is, this would be really fun to play too. So then, whenever the next good opportunity I had for, I guess, a gift or whatever, got that, and, definitely played the heck out of that for a long time, and then, you know, got Pokemon Yellow when that came out, and went out and pre-ordered Pokemon Gold, which would be the first game I ever pre-ordered anywhere, and that was kind of fun. Oh, Double Team. Really? I remember, I think when my... Okay, yeah, it really is Double Team. Okay, because I thought I remember sometimes it said, oh, it was this move, but it was something else before. But, yeah, like, with Pokemon Gold, it was funny because it was a case where there was, like, a Kmart that was maybe half a mile or so from my house, and, you know, biking down there and sort of filling out, they had these little slips that were kind of like Post-it note sort of things. You just sort of like, you fill out your name and address or whatever, and you know, then you just I think had to put down maybe a $5 deposit at that point. Let me grab a couple of these here. Well, I'm not worried too much about anything else right now. But yeah, that was... what do you want? Oh, I have the running shoes. I hit an option to be able to have the running shoes right away, even though it doesn't take too long to get them. And plus, there's an option for allowing them to work indoors as well. Let's see. No, I can't remember if there was an item over here or not. But yeah, so you know, did that, and that was pretty exciting because then, you know, get all the hype there of sitting around waiting for the game to come out. Alright, I thought there might have been a hidden item there, but I can't remember. And, you know, and that was pretty interesting. And then I did get a Game Boy Advance, but I never really got into the Gen 3 games at the time. And I don't know if it maybe just because, you know, I was like a combination of, I just wasn't getting as many, you know, handheld games necessarily at the time. And then like, it also came out maybe like around high school time, so you know, it was like also a case where I didn't have as many people, you know, that would have been around then that were also getting them. I thought maybe I could poison them or something, but that's alright. Just thought I'd try that out. You know, I got Smog, and that's such a dumb move, but whatever. So it wasn't really until I think my brother got, you know, Game Boy Advance SP, because at one point I eventually ended up selling off my regular Game Boy Advance, so then I went back and bought a Game Boy Advance SP, and then I picked up a copy of FireRed. That was kind of, you know, interesting, because I'm like, okay, I've been out of the habit a little bit of the Pokemon series, so at least, you go back and getting a remade version of Generation 1 was at least okay. I started with something familiar, and I never did get a copy of the original Gen 3 games at the time. And I didn't get a DS system for a while, so I didn't jump into Gen 4 right away either. Just kind of how that works. Oh, you did, huh? Well, that's cool. But you don't have the same Pokemon, I'm sure. So yeah, I think I kind of just ended up eventually getting the Heart Gold remake for the DS once I got that. Like, I didn't get a copy of Diamond or Pearl right away. And I don't know, no real reason I was avoiding the current generation games necessarily. I just was like, well, it's kind of starting the point where I'm like, you know, I'm not, you know, I have a lot of else going around, so, you know, just kind of, I don't really have a good move for this. outside of Earthquake, but we'll try. You know, I think I eventually did pick up Platinum after the fact. So there was that much at least. But then I did pick things up a bit, like, especially once we got to Generation 6, like I got, you know, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, and all that kind of stuff. And then, I think, as I was saying earlier, it's like, now it just feels like, oh man, it's so much, you know, to keep up with sometimes. Because, you know, when I think about, like, especially, like, the you go back to, I think, like, Generation 1, like, you know, there is essentially no real post-game stuff. Like, you know, you go ahead and you beat, you know, the Elite Four and all that. The only thing left after doing that is going to capture Mewtwo, who, you know, I mean, it doesn't, in-game doesn't really serve any purpose, but, you know, nowadays, there, you know, there's a lot of extra stuff that the games offer, and, you know, it just feels like maybe you don't always have, you know, a lot of time to properly enjoy before the next game's coming out. And then I think one thing, and, you know, I hate to complain too much about, like, oh, they're coming with new ideas, but, like, it feels like they never really commit to, like, sticking with one idea, because, you know, you get, you know, we have Mega Evolutions, and then, you know, next thing we're moving on to Z moves, and, you know, it just felt like, and then what we get, you know, Terra Storm, I think, I mean, you know, sometimes I just kind of wish that they would, you know, be willing to just step back and say, you know, all right, we don't necessarily need something completely brand new to the point where, like, we almost completely abandon the previous major gimmick. Like, every new region has to have their own special thing. You know, the other things just kind of either just get completely dropped or minimalized to a degree. And it's just like, okay, you know, if I like, you know, really like that idea, and now it's like, well, we have to do something completely different now. But, you know, that's a whole other thing. You know, with that in mind, like, game I really did appreciate the Let's Go games. And, you know, not so much just because, oh, you know, it's great to have another Kanto remake, but, you know, just, I think just because, like, that was one where they kind of stepped back a little bit and were at least, you know, willing to just be like, okay, we're not gonna try to do anything too crazy. So that one was easier to just enjoy, dare I say, casually. You know, use the C word here, but all right, now we can switch. Thunder Punch. I think this should still count as a special move. Yeah, we're getting rid of you because you suck. But yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, other than, you know, the kind of slightly awkward, you know, using the Pokemon Go capture mechanic, stupid Bone Rings has to miss all the time. Using that Pokemon Go capture mechanic, making, like, grinding a slightly, you know, more awkward affair. Not really more tedious, but just, oh, my Lotic. That's cool. You know, that, it was just, like, fun to see something that wasn't, you know, completely about different gimmicks. And my Lotic, it's kind of like a funny story, because I remember after I'd gone back and I'd gotten, like, one of the I think it was from one of the Gen 5 games. Friend Alex, like, was really looking to get a Milotic for one of his games. And of course, there was a thing where if you have to capture like the Phoebus, and they had to be like this special little sprite, the special little sprite in the water where they're like there's only like one tile, where they will actually appear. So that's like, okay, you got to go to this very specific spot. So that was kind of fun. Like, oh man. One of the things that's probably another problem I have. Like, I don't have as much patience for some of the extra gimmicks. Like, I never really got into the whole like EV training and all that kind of stuff. Let me see. I'll just use a potion. I know, like, well, actually, I can just use recover if I really need to. So we'll battle. I'm more worried about running out of PP at some point. So yeah, like that's mostly crowd on, really. All right, buddy. That's a problem. Let's see. We'll try. I think I can do a little bit more damage with that. But yeah, I think maybe more than anything else. Oh my gosh, it's Bone Meringue. Yeah, I think more than anything else, like, yeah, I didn't like anything that kind of required you to spend like a lot of time messing around with like in-game stuff that was, just plain hard to keep track of. I mean, they kind of added things that made looking at EV values and stuff like that maybe a little bit easier, but it's like it always felt somewhat interesting to me that a game that's kind of like all ages really supposed to be friendly, like they would have that kind of involved mechanic. Like, how many like younger audience people are really ever going to care about trying to do that? And you're basically wanting to say you're locking them out. I don't know how much that's going to do with the bug poison thing, but it's a little bit more powerful than just the Shadow Ball. Jeez. Critical hit, huh? That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, and I don't mean to say all that to be kind of like negative or anything. It's just kind of like, maybe it's why, do something like this is so much more easy to enjoy. I mean, I thought I might actually be able to get into Mount Moon, but I forgot sometimes how long dealing with trainers can actually take. Alright, let's just get mostly to refresh PowerPoints here. But yeah, just being able to enjoy something kind of more casually is can be lots of fun, like I said. And a lot of it comes down to sometimes, you just have so many other things in games you want to pay attention to. Like, unless you really, really want to devote like all your time to just one game, then that's fair. But if you're trying to kind of spread things out a little bit and maybe sometimes you just want to be like, I'd rather just enjoy, doing, alright, yeah, I'd rather just enjoy doing the basic stuff. That's fine too. Voltorb, cool. At least I'll be able to see, oh, Alright. I'm gonna cancel out my drizzle. Well, that's fine, because I don't really care. Now, let's see. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this grass patch that's coming up here. Let's see. What kind of stuff do we got in here? Charizard. Yeah. Let's see. Do we have anything else interesting? Because that's pretty cool. Okay, well, more Charizard. Just looking for any other possible, team members here. Okay, keep things a little bit more varied. Oh, Cleffa. Yeah, I guess that's at least kind of appropriate for Mount Moon, so it's interesting. Okay, well, it looks like Charizard's the big active encounter. Although I did, with Viridian Forest, there was actually like Hitmonchan in there as well. And when I was doing a little bit of grinding, like those Goldeen, I can't remember if I saw the Goldeen as a wild encounter on the segment now, but yeah, the Goldeen were kind of interesting. Like, let's try the Thunder Punch here. Wow! Just have that right move here. But yeah, the Goldeen ended up having Hyper Beam, like that came out of nowhere. So they were a little bit more, a little bit more formidable than I would have initially expected. Yeah, it's funny you do that, but of course, with the ledges, you can't go backwards from Cerulean to back to Pewter City. Well, I think I had Ghastly last time. Well, let's see. Well, let's give it a try here. Alright. Just gonna see if I can do this on screen. It's probably not gonna work, but yeah, no. Bubble Beam! That's kind of cool. There's potential here. I don't know if... Yeah, I don't know. Just as in case here, I just want to see if I can capture this guy. My whip. Yeah, that's a little less useful. Yeah, I just want to try a couple times. If not, I might just have to go back and do my, Oh, well. Never mind, we don't have to off-screen. Yeah, sure. Well, we all know where this is going. Good old Spectre coming back. Just using that Mass Effect spelling for the Spectres. I don't know why I always do that, but, What do you have to offer here? Whoops, I'm into... Prevents paralysis. Alright, cool. So we have Vine Whip and Bubble Beam. Alright. That kind of thing works for me. So we'll just go ahead and heal. Oh yeah, that's Magikarp. I don't know. I think this is randomized, so I'm just gonna see if this actually was randomized here. It's $500, but whatever. Outrageous $500 bought the Magikarp. Wait. Ah, I messed up. I'm not like pounding my thing. I forgot it gives you the ability to nickname. Well, alright. This poor Gilgard doesn't get his nickname here. This is why you like save before you do these kind of things. Okay, so we have a couple new Pokemon here, and yeah, so we'll just go ahead and we will call it a day for that, and we'll do Mount Moon next time. And yeah, because I'll probably want to level up the other guys just a little bit. But alright, till next time.